Hello, hello, and welcome to this week's Profit Maximizer Moment. My name is Wayne Belisle. I'm a local CPA in El Paso, Texas. We specialize really in three things. We do tax returns in a way that the IRS doesn't question. We try real hard. I've had two audits in the last 10 years, so we're doing a good job. We do tax planning. I don't believe any business owner in particular, should pay more than they are legally required to do. And we do some business coaching, and we're getting ready to do that on a much larger scale. So we're going to have our course starting on the 22nd. Keep your eyes open for it. Um, so I say that basically, I've had my business since 1991, passed the CPA exam in the late 1970s. So yeah, I'm old. Been doing this a long time. One of the few advantages of that, though, is perspective. And I've been through a lot. I mean, let's be honest. Um, I've watched business owners go through a lot. Dot-com bust in early 2000s, 9/11, excuse me, was shut down things, and never-ending wars, in Iraq and Iran, not Iran, sorry, Afghanistan. Um, Heck, the 2008 real estate and financial institute collapse. Heck, we can go through that. COVID, let's not forget that. Supply chain mess, um, recessions, interest rate jumping around. Seen it all. Okay, but one of the things that I look at is how do business owners react? Now, honestly, I was impressed during COVID. The creativity of business owners surprised me. I mean, actually, everybody reacted well. Pretty much everybody. Not everybody, but pretty much. So, all through all this time that I've been working, I've kind of studied business owners and see how they react to crisis. And some crises have nothing to do with the economy. And let's be honest, the world has changed dramatically in the last 20 years, heck, in the last 10 or 5 years. I mean, we've gone through doing things by hand, paper accounting systems to computerized accounting systems to desktop to telephones that you got more power in your hand than they had on the original Apollo missions to the moon, in your phone. AI, the information, things changed dramatically. Social media, how we market used to be easy. You just put an ad in the paper, put it or on the TV or in the radio. Now you got 1,000 options where you put them and what you do. But basic business hasn't changed. What it comes down to is there's two different types of people and how they react to a crisis. All right, whether an external crisis or an internal crisis. You either react or you panic. Okay. And it really comes down to how you react. Is it just a reaction in a panic mode? If that's it, then you look at it and go, oh my gosh, things are going to go crazy. I better cut. I better bring everything down. Well, sometimes you need to. Sometimes the world changes out there. And, we used to do a lot of bookkeeping, had a lot of staff. We got rid of that because I could see AI coming, and AI was going to eliminate the bookkeeping world pretty much. Smaller ones will still be able to get by. All right. But larger book, and really in the next 5 years, it's going to be harder and harder to do that as a business. Um, just one example. I mean, things change all over. Your marketing method may all of a sudden become illegal because of a government regulation. I think of one. There's firms that used to just market through fax. That became outlawed, though my fax machine still receives a few from people who haven't gotten the message yet. All right. So things change. So how do you react? All right. Like I said, cutting costs, cutting marketing, cutting employees, canceling, your subscriptions and tools and things that you use in your business and trying to just cut costs is one way to go. We talked about this last week, but it really is it's not planned. It's just a reaction. All right. And it's a panic reaction caused by fear. It's not based on what's best and how to grow the business. All right. The biggest problem is the business owner often doesn't realize they're reacting from fear. They think they're doing the right thing. Um, it, it feels like to them, they think they're showing discipline. From the outside world, it looks like they're shrinking or going away. Okay. So the hardest part is, I mean, what's a common pattern? Well, let's take one. You cut your marketing. All right. May not feel it right now, but you'll feel it 6 months from now when the pipeline's empty. All right. You stop paying yourself. So you kind of start to hate the business. Why am I going to work? Why am I working this hard? I'm not even bringing any money out. Um, you let a key person go. So now you're having to overwork. You're not doing the things you should be doing in order. You should be selling. You should be marketing. You should be making sure your customers, your current customers, are being fulfilled to a way that's satisfactory to them. Hell, never mind satisfactory, that wows them, and then finally work on everything else. But you get rid of key people. Now you're doing it all. Okay. What does the stronger group do? And look, strong doesn't mean big. How many big companies in our lifetime can we remember that have gone bankrupt? Find a Kmart, find a Sears, find a Blockbuster. I think there's one left in the whole country, and I think that probably should be a museum. But, it really comes down to they didn't react fast enough. And smaller companies, that's one of the few advantages we have as small businesses, is the ability to react quickly. And we showed that during COVID. Many of us did react quickly. First thing that happens is they don't get stressed by it. They understand it's just a change. If you're going to be a business owner, change is the only constant you're going to have. The fact that nothing stays the same is the only constant you're going to have. All right. And if you try to hold on to the past, I remember arguing in the 90s when CPAs were going, oh my God, QuickBooks is going to steal our business away. And I was like, QuickBooks is the future. Trying to argue against it is like standing in front of a tsunami on the beach going, stop. Good luck with that. Or trying to get a tornado to stop. Good luck with that. But so what do they do differently? All right. Well, first, they're calm about it. All right. They know where every dollar went. So they know their numbers before the pressure hits. They've built up a reserve. They have a line of credit in place. They've made sure they have a few months in savings to cover their reserve. All right. They understand that the engine of their business, in other words, the financial model they've created, is what protects them. So they protect the model. All right. That's simple. Marketing stays, sales stays. The people who make the money for the business stays because you've built up a reserve and you have the numbers and you know what to do. Another little dirty secret. Every time we have one of these recessions or downturns or something like that, I'm usually putting out an article saying, let the world have a recession. Let the country have a recession. I apologize. I forgot to put that on. I'm trying to put it on Do Not Disturb without luck. There we go. Let the world have a recession. Let the country have a recession. Don't participate. I take that attitude. In fact, if you go back in history, many of the largest companies that exist right now were started during recessions and serious downturns, even the Great Depression. All right. Why? Because some smart person got dismissed, got laid off, couldn't really find a job, so they opened a business. Now, seems counterintuitive and kind of dumb. Not really. Think about it. When the whole world is going crazy and you're not, all right, what is available to you? Well, first of all, there's less competition because some of your competition is scaling back. They're shrinking. So customers still need your service. Some of them do, for sure, depending on what your industry you're in. But definitely, just about every industry, not all the customers go away. We panic because there's a 10% drop or 10 or 15% drop in the number of people that can afford our product. Still 85% of it, 85, 90% is still out there. All right. So what we want to do is, all right, there's less people going after the customers. Even though there's less customers, there's less of us looking for them. Suppliers are desperate because they've lost some of their customers, so you can usually get better deals out of them. It's easier to hire more, qualified employees because there's less companies trying to hire them. Look at what I just did there. I turned a negative into a positive, and that's what strong financial, the group that doesn't panic, what I call a strong group, they're strong because of they have a system in place, they have a business system in place, they have financial background, and they think before they react. All right. They literally get aggressive when everybody else is pulling back. And as a matter of fact, they might double down on marketing. That's the time to do it. All right. And truthfully, they talk to their customers. They never stop talking to them. They pay themselves. No big deal. The common thread is they're not making gut decisions. They're making decisions off a system, and the system tells them the truth. Simple as that. Um, so, what it comes down to, when times are tough, don't, okay. Now, if you're in a tough situation, that's a different story. All right. Then you have to go to what I call emergency mode, and survival mode, really, is what I call it. That's not the subject here. Most businesses aren't that way. Most businesses are reacting to the external world and the news that they're getting, and they're not reacting to their own numbers and what they see. And they're not planning and to take advantage of what I see as an opportunity when every other business is looking at it scared, going, oh my God, this is going to kill my business. Now, if you find yourself in survival mode, feel free to give me a call. If you're, you can, send me an email at Wayne at WJB. Well, I don't know what my email is anymore. Wayne at WJB. Oh, no, that's my email. My website's the one that's in transition. Wayne at WJB-CPA.com. You can also get a clarity call. Just, I'll get on the phone with you for 30 minutes and see where you're at. I've seen it all. Trust me. I've literally had business owner who came into my office saying she was going to commit suicide because the only way she could see to get out of her problem was to kill herself and let the life insurance pay. She had had it for 10 years, so she knew enough to know it would pay. Did two things there. One, we got the IRS to stop, we put a hold on the IRS who was trying to lock up her business. And the second thing, actually I did it first, we called a psychiatrist client of mine who took care of that. 5 years later, they're doing better than they ever did. Why? Because even when you're bouncing at the bottom, we all know that from personal life. We've seen drug addicts, alcoholics, people that just are immature, doing things they shouldn't. Sometimes they got to hit bottom before they pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and get to work. And business is no different. It's just it's like having one of your children that has a problem. You don't ignore them. You just try to help them. Same thing with your business. Hey, until next time, this is Wayne Belisle saying, don't be a reactive person. Plan. Get your act together before it becomes a problem. We'll see you next time. See you next week. Don't forget, tax season is next Wednesday. I think I'm going to do one next week. I'll let you know. If you don't see me next week, I'll see you the week after. Until next time, this is Wayne Belisle saying, let's make this our most profitable year ever. Thank you very much. God bless, and see you in church. Thank you. Hope you had a good Easter, by the way.